Hi, my name is Amanda Rocha. I am an estate planning and probate attorney in California. Today, we are going to discuss what happens to your property, both your real property and personal property, if you become incapacitated without any documentation. Before I get into that, I want to give you my contact information. My website is www.amandarocalaw.com. If you click on the contact page, you can either send me a message directly or schedule an appointment to speak with me. I can talk to you about estate planning. I can talk to you about probate. I would be happy to help you in either of those cases. That is my job. First and foremost an estate planning and probate attorney, and I create these videos as a way to educate the public. It is not my job to create videos, so I'm a practicing attorney. I can help you with these things. Second, you can find me on social media at Amanda Rocha Law. And if you want to comment down below, I will get back to you that way if this platform allows you to comment. So the reason I even wanted to discuss this today is because I had a potential client call the other day, and in this situation, one of the spouses was diagnosed with early onset dementia, but still had capacity to fill out powers of attorney and other documents according to their doctor. And so last year, before their memory really started to slip, they filled out a power of attorney allowing their other spouse to be the agent for their power of attorney. And now the other spouse has contacted me to try and set up some estate planning documents. But the real question she had is, my husband is still on title of our home. They own it jointly and with another person. And she wanted to know, really, what can I do as the agent for power of attorney? Am I allowed to take his name off the title and put it into a trust? Am I allowed to create a joint trust on our behalf? What else can I do as his power of attorney other than pay his bills? She's also the healthcare power of attorney, but that is a separate issue completely. And it got me to thinking, I'm sure many other people have that question. And also, what happens if you were not fortunate enough to fill out a power of attorney form before something happened to you? What then? So I'm going to break it down for you pretty quickly. First of all, if you have a power of attorney form that was filled out when the person had the mental capacity to do that, and that's very important. If someone has any kind of memory or brain issues diagnosed by a doctor, and they've then filled out documents, you need to be very clear about the timeline as to when they were diagnosed and whether their doctor thinks that they have capacity to fill out documents at that point, because once you pass that threshold, there's usually no going back. Sometimes it's a temporary issue. I'm not talking about temporary issues. I'm talking about if someone has Alzheimer's or dementia or had a traumatic brain incident, something that has, or even if they are unconscious in a coma or anything like that, they're not capable of making legal decisions or signing legal documents on their behalf at a certain point. And so if you have filled out a document or have a document filled out prior to that, then it's going to depend on what the document says. Not every power of attorney or even conservatorship, which is completely different, is created equally. It's going to really depend on exactly what the document says and what you signed up for. So it's really important that you have somebody who knows what they're looking at, an attorney, read this document to you and explain to you what your powers are and what the capabilities are moving forward. If there are no documents filled out, then most likely, and this is not in every case, but most likely what's going to happen is you're going to have to appear before a judge to gain conservatorship over that person. And you could be their guardian for conservatorship, or you could be, what is it called in California? Not a guardian. Maybe it is. Anyway, you understand what I'm saying, right? You would be the person who's in charge of that person's affairs. And a conservatorship can be either over the person alone, or it could be over their estate, or it could be over both. And so that is something that you would discuss with your attorney, and you would go forward that way. But again, not every single document is created equally. So that might give you the power to make medical decisions on their behalf and pay their bills and use their checking account, but you may not be able to do anything with their real estate. And in which case, if you can't gain the power to create or change real estate transactions in their name, then that person will have to, they still have ownership over it, although they can't control it. They have an ownership interest in that property, and when they pass away, it'll have to go through the normal means, whether they had a trust of some kind but didn't somehow name an agent for a trustee for their incapacity, which would be a very poorly created trust, or if they had a will. A will doesn't do anything for you if you're incapacitated. It only is effective once you've passed away. So the will would then become effective and their property would be distributed that way. Or if it's joint property, it will be distributed in that way. It could go through probate. There's a lot of different ways in which this could turn out, but just know that having a document called a power of attorney does not mean that you have the power to do everything on that person's behalf. Having conservatorship over someone does not mean you have the power to do everything on their behalf. It really depends on the document, and it should be looked at by a legal professional and explained to you if it wasn't explained to you when it was created. Please contact me if you have this issue. I would be more than happy to help you look at the documents and create whatever else we need going forward to make sure that you have a smooth transition. My website is www.amandarocalaw.com. You can comment down below if this platform allows you to do that, or you can find me on social media at Amanda Rocha Law. Thank you.